Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 5:30 News on KPAX, Montana's news leader.
Good evening, I'm Augusta McDonald. There are no longer any evacuation orders in place due to the Lolo Peak fire. Even so, officials ask everyone to remain vigilant in case those conditions change. Authorities have announced that all mandatory evacuation orders in Ravalli County have been lifted near the Lolo Peak fire. Ravalli County Sheriff Steve Holton says that all residents can return home, but are urged to be prepared in case those conditions change. Missoula County residents who were under mandatory evacuation orders were allowed to go back home on Friday. A public meeting to discuss the nearly 3,500-acre Lolo Peak fire will be held at 7 p.m. tomorrow at the Florence Baptist Church. The Firewise trailer will move from Lolo to Stevensville today, this afternoon. Staffed fire information will be available in 3 locations: Super One Foods in Stevensville, Farmers State Bank parking lot in Florence, and the Way Station in Lolo at the corner of Highway 12 and 93. Like a delicious Kansas City barbecue sauce, Russ wanted me to say that. The weather on Sunday is shaping up to be hot and smoky, and here he is now with your forecast. Go ahead, Russ.
Yeah, you should really pre-read. Just kidding. Thank you, Augusta. Yes, I did write that. You got some real energy in that one, Augusta. Let's go ahead and talk. Yeah, it is going to be hot and smoky, though. Seriously, not so much today. It's actually been a pretty good day out there, considering we're getting a high pressure kind of starting to sit on top of us. Now, what's going to happen is that's eventually going to lead to a lot more smoke in our valley locations. You look at our St. Joseph Medical Center ICAM, we are seeing a mostly clear sky. And again, a little bit hazy way up in the background, but certainly not much of an issue. Temperature is very comfortable today. 82 Missoula and Kalispell, 87 Polson. A great evening, I think, to be outdoors, maybe take that hike or run if you can, or just enjoy the outdoors. I'll be back with more in a few minutes.
Thank you, Russ. Hurricane Harvey has weakened to a tropical storm, but parts of Texas are bracing for catastrophic flooding. The storm made landfall last night, and state officials say the threat is far from over. Don Champion has the latest from Corpus Christi.
Hurricane Harvey cut a path of destruction across southeast Texas. But relentless rain is the major threat right now.
For now, just wait out the storm. We're going to have to keep at my sister's because we're scared that it might flood here.
Friday night, the monster storm slammed into the Gulf Coast near Rockport as a Category 4 hurricane with 130-mile-per-hour winds. Whoa. Harvey blew out windows and collapsed the 3rd floor of this hotel.
Curtains on the 3rd floor got sucked out of the building, or on the 2nd floor got sucked out of the building between the walls and are now poking out on the outside.
Harvey has already dumped heavy rain across Texas, but much more is coming as the storm is expected to sit over this area through early next week.
Our biggest concern is the possibility of between 20 and 30 more inches of rain.
In Missouri City, a suspected tornado ripped through the Sienna Plantation neighborhood, damaging as many as 50 homes.
We're freaking out, and literally you could just feel the power of the house just shaking, almost lifting up.
Emergency crews spent the day rescuing people who rode out the storm in their homes. Don Champion, CBS News, Corpus Christi, Texas.
Nearly 250,000 people are without power. Throughout the month, senior volunteers have been putting a voice to a usually automated voice information call line in Missoula. Missoula Aging Services volunteers through the Retired Senior Volunteer Program have worked more than 100 shifts with the Missoula Fire Line Call Center, fielding calls from concerned residents about current fire conditions and evacuation notices. Volunteers say they've stayed busy, fielding up to 150 calls a day during the month of August.
I think people need the information, and they can get it from so many different places, you know, off of social media or just hearsay, and this they know is going to be the accurate information.
RSVP is one of 3 senior core programs for adults age 55 and over who use their experiences to help address critical needs in Missoula County. And in downtown, the River City Roots Festival in downtown Missoula hosts many unique vendors from across the country. We found one man who's giving dead butterflies a second life. MTN's Kent Lutzen has this story.
In an observatory, active monarch butterflies can live up to 6 weeks, according to experts. And in the wild, the duration of their lifespan depends on the time of year. But after death, most of these insects decompose into Mother Nature. However, one man is changing that. He's extending the life of these beautiful creatures through art.
Primus Poseidon. He's the largest of this family in the bright greens. You know, the butterflies themselves are inspiration as a whole. I try to capture the special parts about each species. And then I play with them. Some I use multiple species and mix together. But I just try to keep the natural integrity so you see a lot of the butterfly.
Settlin has been perfecting this skill for over a decade. He uses 9 layers of acrylic and polymer to preserve the colorful wings and designs his own settings to highlight the insect's natural beauty. However, the process of turning a deceased flying bug into a necklace or bracelet is a pretty tough task.
So when a butterfly dies, they're not open like this. They're closed, so you see that side of his wing. To open them and put them in a frame like this, it's actually a 3-day process of spreading them. So that's kind of how you tell that a butterfly is dead, is that he'll be closed.
He works closely with butterfly observatories across the globe and pays big money for these dead butterflies, which in return gives observatories some funding to help the reproduction process along.
I don't go for the cheapest. I only support observatories that have programs going on that benefit either the people in and around the observatory or, more importantly, the butterflies themselves through releasing of the females and the hatching of their eggs. The little spots you see are actually the reverse of the...
Settlin travels around the country to sell his jewelry, all while keeping the beauty of these butterflies alive. In Missoula, Kent Lutzen, MTN News.
If you have not stopped downtown to check out the Roots Festival, you still have time. There will be live music playing until 10 o'clock tonight. Our dog means a lot to us, and it seems only right that we dedicate an entire day to them. In celebration of National Dog Day, the Missoula Fresh Market and the Humane Society of Missoula partnered up to host an adoption event.
We really enjoy doing off-site events because it gives us a chance to reach other members of our community that might not necessarily come out to the shelter.
The event was held in the parking lot of both Fresh Market Missoula locations and lasted from 10 a.m. to 4. Total, they were able to adopt out 9 puppies and all but 3 of their cats by the end of the day. Fresh Market was handing out free samples of pet products to people who chose to adopt. Local vendors such as Happy Dog Beer Company and Montana Girl Critter Gear were there selling unique items for pet owners. Montana Girl is a company founded by Missoula local Jesse Walrath in 2013. She hand makes collars, bandanas, leashes, and even bow ties.
Montana Girl got started because a friend of mine needed collars for her puppies, and my mom said, "Oh yeah, Jessie can make those." I had no idea how to make them, so I had to go to online, YouTube it, find all the products, made the first batch of collars. She went and posted it on Facebook, and her friends bought them, and it just went kaboom.
If you're still interested in welcoming a new member into your family, the kittens left over from the event and many other eager pets are available at the Missoula Humane Society. And in your Money Watch headlines this afternoon, Federal Reserve Chair Janet Yellen is defending reforms taken since the global financial crisis. Speaking at an annual central bank research conference in Wyoming, she said the regulations have made the economy stronger. Her comments come after Republicans, including President Trump, made efforts to scrap certain regulations. Some buying on Wall Street Friday, the Dow gained 30 points and the Nasdaq lost 5. Amazon reportedly signed a lease to build a massive warehouse outside of Cleveland, Ohio. The local newspaper in Cleveland says the e-commerce giant will employ more than 2,000 full-time workers. And may the Force be with Toys R Us as it launches a new Star Wars collection in honor of Force Friday 2. The toy store is releasing hundreds of new Star Wars items, including Luke Skywalker's land speeder. The toys go on sale September 1st at midnight. After this break, it's back to school cheer across the state. See how Bozeman welcome their Bobcats back to class. Stay with us.